Channel. My name is Jenny and this is More Than a Pretty Face, and today I have a little bit different type of video or unboxing to show y'all. I've talked about them in a few of my previous videos. The subscription boxes that my boys get, the two science ones. One's a science and one's an engineering, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard about them. They're all over. If you have kids, they're all over your timeline on Facebook, if you're on Facebook. But one of them is the KIWI Crate, this one here, and then the other one I'm going to show y'all is the Club SciKidz, and this is the more science chemistry one. We'll do the Eureka Crate first. In fact, I need to get that one done because we're going to actually put that one together tonight. So Eureka Crate is part of the KIWI Crate line, and there are four different age levels or activity levels that you can get within it. Eureka Crate is the highest of them. There's Kiwi, Tinker, Eureka. My boys did the Eureka because it is an engineering based. I believe it is for ages 14 and up. Yeah, my youngest is not 14, but he's capable of doing it with him. He could probably do it by himself, to be quite honest. If they know how to do Legos and can follow a book, they can do a Eureka Crate. But I'll quickly show y'all kind of what's in it, and I'm going to show y'all the previous ones that we've gotten. But when you get the box, it's going to have, right at the top, it's going to have your instruction manual. And like this month, they get to make a ukulele, which is great because, like I said, you heard in previous videos, you know, we lived in Hawaii and my youngest was born there. So this one was like perfect. This is his birthday month too, so it like made it even better. So he gets a ukulele during his birthday month. So, but then it's gonna have all of the pieces and parts separately packaged inside, and they do such an amazing job of putting everything together for you. And so I mean, it's got like all the way down to like the little wires and stuff that you'll use. I don't know what half this is. Like I said, it's all very descriptive in the instructions, but it's got the nuts and the bolts. It even comes with a teeny tiny little screwdriver, y'all. Look at this. How precious is that? Oh my gosh. So it is wood. So I mean, and it's a good size. You can see that's the size that the body of the ukulele is going to be. So it is a really good size project they get to put together. And this is the birthday month boy. Are you excited to do your ukulele?
I'm excited for my birthday.
Yes, he's very excited for his birthday.
Very.
So I'm going to flip through real quick and show you. What are you most excited about for your birthday? We'll take a break real quick and let the birthday boy talk. What are you most excited for your birthday?
I'm excited for
your friends. Y'all, he's super excited that he's gonna actually get to have his birthday party and have all his friends come over, because with all of this mess that's been going around, we weren't really sure if he was gonna have a party or a drive-by. It is his 10th birthday, so I mean, hello, you have to do that up big. So he's actually, what theme are you doing for your party?
YouTube theme.
He's doing a YouTuber theme because he is a YouTuber.
The cough nearly ruined one of my most exciting birthdays.
But it didn't, and so we're excited, yay. We'll have lots of pictures and stuff to show all of the decorating that we did when that's finally over. Because he's doing, like, instead of goodie bags, we're doing merch bags. And so we're gonna have some of his merch made up so he can give that out to his friends when they come. So I'm so excited. I think I get more excited about putting these parties together than they actually having the parties. But I know I don't have many left because I've got a 13-year-old who's getting ready to be 14. And he's turning 10, and I mean, after 13, do they really want birthday parties anymore, especially if they're boys? So I only have a few left.
Bye, guys.
He says bye. So anyway, okay, so the Eureka Crate. So this is the book that you're gonna get, and like I said, it's a good sized book, and it's done a lot like the Lego books. It's gonna have, I mean, all the way from like starting point. You know, it gives you a little bit of history behind whatever you're making. And then it's going to give you a page that obviously it's going to tell you exactly what you should have in your kit. And then it's divided up into parts, like part A, part B, and part C. And I will, for this video, since we're getting ready to build it tonight, I will add in what they've got at the end of each part A, part B, and part C, so you kind of see the progression along the way. But like I said, it's very very detailed, extremely detailed. And then, like I said, and in the back, it's got some additional challenges that you can do with what you created, and everything. Oh, and then of course it's the history and the design of the ukulele. So ukulele. If I'm really wanting to talk like I'm from Hawaii. But like I said, it just gives the whole history and everything else along with how to put it together. So I'm really, really excited to do this one. That one will mean a lot to us. They'll probably end up fighting over who gets to put it in their room. So this is our third one that we've received. So I'll show y'all the other two that they received prior to this one. The first one that they received was, it was a lock box, and it was a pin lock, and I love it. It's so cool. Like I said, it's good construction, it's sturdy, and it's got the little key. They had to actually create the lock for it, and then you open it, and it just gives you a little place to hide your stuff. So, like I said, this was the first one that we got. The mechanical lock box that had everything, with it, and it's got different ways you can lock the box. If you want to change the lock up, you can go in and change the actual pin slots for the key. And then the one we got last month this was my favorite, was a pinball machine. And y'all, it is you can see they've been playing with it already. This part down here could have been a little sturdier, but that's okay. It's just the ball catch. But let me put one of the balls in. It's an actual pinball machine. How cute is that? And it's got the plungers down here, to keep it. And they got to, you can change it up too. Like they can change where the little obstacles are. And it's got the little ramp that you can try and make it up into. And then these in the back, they go up and they're on a string. And so when you hit it with the ball, it'll drop down and you'll get your points for it. So this one, we had so much fun putting this together. We all put this one together as a family. And so I'm excited to do the ukulele, because we're going to do that one as a family too. It's a really good family project, especially now, with so much that you can't go out. And so here was the book for the pinball machine. And of course it gives, like I said, it gives a history, and it even gives like some games and the rules and everything for playing pinball, and shows you how you can customize it. And it gives you like a customization pack with extra stickers and everything and extra obstacles. So they really, really like that one. That one was amazing. So like I said, if you are interested in checking it out, or possibly getting it for your kiddos or yourself, I would do it myself. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can check out all the different difficulty levels, I guess you call it. I don't know. I don't really consider it age levels, because the one that was like technically for 9 was like nothing he would have been excited about. And now they do have one that's on the same quote unquote 14 and up, but it is an art box. It's not engineer related. It is like all artistic stuff, canvases and oil paints and you name it. So I might check that one out at some point, because you can switch them up too at any point during your subscription. You can go in and switch up which box you would like to receive. So we may do that one month. So all right. The next one, Club SciKidz, y'all. Okay, so I did this one initially because with them being home from school and not being, hands-on with the typical stuff they were doing in science at the time, I thought this would be fun for us to do, to take place of science class. It is so amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first box that you get, the very first box, regardless of what that month's theme is, you're going to get the starter box, which is going to be like your home lab, and it's going to give you some standard basic experiments that kind of go across the board, from earth science to chemistry to physical science, physics, you name it. So that's going to be your very first box, but that's because it's going to build your home lab. And the stuff they send you is absolutely amazing. I'll show y'all some of that now. Like the equipment you get, let me put these away before I got the parts for their ukulele out still. Okay, the parts that they send you, like they got the graduated cylinder, and they got 2 Petri dishes, like a large and a small, and they got some beakers, large and small. They got the latex gloves, the little measuring scoop, goggles, of course. They got a full pair of goggles, scissors, those are tweezers, scissors, tweezers, a ruler, a little mixing spoon that's got a little knob on the end for mixing also, 2 of the little pipettes, 2 mixing sticks, a magnifying glass. I'm not done yet, y'all. This is crazy. And then they got their little test tube stand that comes with 2 of the larger test tubes and then 2 little test tubes, and then they got an extra smaller test tube. So that was their home lab. That was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. So, and something else I'll show y'all, because I am going to have a Dollar Tree thing tied into this. You know that's coming. To keep all of their stuff organized, I keep all their stuff in those plastic, I don't know if y'all saw these this summer. They came out with them, the storage cases, and they have the little snapping lock top or whatever. So I stocked up on those, and I keep all of their individual experiments all together, so that if they want to pull one out, they can grab that card and they see that that's the card that's on. I'll show y'all when I get to those in a minute. They can see through it and they can pull that out. They can do that experiment. They pull their lab box out and it's all together. And then when they're done, they just put it back in the box and they put it in the little. Let me show y'all. I've got this to kind of keep their lab equipment together, so they can kind of keep, all of their stuff together in the cart they have set up with the baskets for each section of their lab, whatever. And then I do also, now it does come once you get to the further boxes into the subscription, they'll be sending boxes that do have like chemicals and stuff that come with it. So I keep those separate. And in this box here, it actually says lab chemicals, # poison, danger, boom, and I drew some little pictures of science equipment. But I keep this alpha out of their stuff. I know they're not gonna mess with it, but if they have friends over, I don't want that risk. So I do keep their the actual stuff separate. And it's nothing like, they're not sending like cyanide or anything, but you have littles over, you never know. I don't want them getting into sodium tartrate and thinking it's pixie stick powder. So like I said, I do keep all of that in here separate, but it's like there's a lot of stuff that comes with them throughout the months. And that's just, like I said, an easier way. It's all separated out, so if they open the box up and they see it and they're like, oh, I need such and such, such and such, such and such, they come to the box, they get it out, and they go take it. So the actual experiments, every box, you're gonna get the what's in this box card. And it's going to tell you, it comes with the lab notebook. This here is your little lab journal, your field journal. And it's got, it's got basic measurements in the front cover. And then it has your what is science. It's really basic. And then it'll go over, it's got the periodic table in there. And then it's got lab safety, your standard lab safety that's going to be with any science lab. And then it gives you the lab equipment and tells you what all of the equipment is. And it'll tell you also if it's actually in your kit. Like there's no Bunsen burner. They didn't send that, obviously. And then you get to here, and these are some of the ones they've actually already done. But then each of the pages, you've got your activity name, and it's based to draw out your hypothesis and what you think is going to happen. And this is for your notes. And then it goes through, there's like, I don't know how many, they've done quite a few. There's like 20 pages of experiment notes. Maybe more, nope, 30, 35, 40. Okay, so there's 40 pages. You can do 20 experiments in one lab book. And then in the back, it's got formulas as well. Standard, scientific formulas. So this was really, really cool. I love that it came with this. And I believe like every quarter, so every 4 boxes, they'll send you, or no, every 3 boxes, they'll send you another lab manual. So, which works great too, because I've got 2 boys. So if they both want to do their own, that works out great. And you can also order them off their website. And so the actual experiments that you're gonna get, like the first box of experiments that we got after the lab box, they got, let's see, they got the root observation, and they're all packaged individually, all of the parts to that experiment with the pieces and the instructions. So they got a root experiment where they're gonna get to watch a root grow from a seed all the way to a seedling. They got a brine shrimp they get to raise. They got, oh, there's an amber, a piece of prehistoric amber, right? Yeah, they've already got that pulled out, but they get to polish it down and they get to inspect it with the magnifying glass.
That's one of the ones I'm most excited for.
Yeah, super excited. It reminds me of the one from like Jurassic Park, because once you get it polished down, because it comes really rough, and then it gives you the polishing cloth and the sanding block and the brush and something else. But and you polish it all the way down, and once it's polished down, then you can inspect it and see if there's anything actually in there, like insect parts or rocks, or so this comes with it too. So you also get a magnifying glass to go with the prehistoric amber. And then the last one in that month was the brush bot. This is so cute. They get to make a robot brush, a brush robot off of part of a toothbrush. So cute. So this was all one month. All of that was 1 month. So month 1 was the lab kit. Month 2, they got their first box of science experiments. Now we have finally reached the point where we're getting themed boxes. They've kind of got enough to build them up their lab and get them used to doing experiments. Well, this month, May, we got it was, and these are another great thing to keep them separated in, because this was a bigger, this had a lot bigger pieces, and so it wasn't going to fit in the smaller boxes. I got this, I think, at Walmart. But this month for May, they got Sound of Music was the theme, and it had, y'all, all of this came with it. All of this was part of their this month's box, last month's box, I guess May. But they've got how to make a pan flute, a DIY harmonica, how to make a stringed instrument, secret formulas, micro instruments, observations, Sound of Music review, and it's got behind the Sound of Music, the science behind it. It's got the do re mi. It's got how they can, to make their own songs throughout it. It's all color coded, because each part is going to be color coded to what note it is. It's crazy. It's amazing. And like I said, this box I want to say is $34.95 a month. I forgot to tell y'all, the Eureka Crate is $29.95 a month, I believe. This one I know is $34. And like I said, I'll have a link for this one as well for the Club SciKidz. And I believe if you use my link the first month, you'll get half off. And like I said, it just explains everything on how music works, what music can be used for, how music can be a form of science. And then it's got, actual experiment science with like liquid making things vibrate, working with vibrations of sound. So this was, like I said, this was amazing. And then it's got a little thing about the movie Sound of Music, and then it shows you in the back how to actually perform an experiment. That's the steps to an experiment. So this alone, this was great. I was very, very excited. We haven't dipped into this one yet because we're still doing the other one, but it actually, this is my son's favorite part. It comes with a metal kazoo also, like a little vintage kazoo, which is really cute. And then they get to make a kazoo in this one. So that is Club SciKidz. Now, what I was going to show y'all, where I told y'all I was going to bring Dollar Tree into it. Okay, so if you are not interested in doing like a full obligated subscription box, that's great. You can go online and you can look up so many experiments that you can do on your own, DIY science experiments for kids, because we were doing this before we found these boxes, because I was just looking for something to keep them occupied. Dollar Tree actually has quite a bit of stuff if you're wanting to like build up your own lab, science lab, chemistry lab, whatever, for your kids. You just have to know where to look and kind of think outside the box on some items. So some of the stuff that we had that we were using before we ordered this, in the teaching tree section, now I know they do have these on a regular basis, and it was great. They have the little test tube sets, and you get one set for $1. It's got, the two different where you can have them labeled so you know which one is the control which one is not. So I went ahead and grabbed 2 of those. And they have actually, they've got the measurement markings and stuff, and they have the little knob, so it will stand up straight in the little test tube holder. And they also have the little goggles. You can grab those. They're over with the toy section with like the rock digging kits and stuff, so you can grab them goggles. Of course, they have magnifying glasses there, so grab one of those. And this is actually a better magnifying glass than came in their science kit, so this was great to have. Now, thinking outside the box, they don't sell Petri dishes, but if you look in the party section where they have all of the plastic partyware that's kind of like along the lines of the Party City stuff, they've got these little dishes. They're like the sauce dishes or whatever, but you get a pack of 6 of them for $1, and these work great as little Petri dishes. So we had picked up some of these, and then they also have for like the layout, like the specimen cups or the little smaller beakers and stuff that you obviously are not gonna be able to buy at Dollar Tree. You can go over to the food section and you can get the little Jello shot cups. They work great. And so to do the little, mixing up different ingredients that you need to use, those work great. Along with, they've got in the kids section, you can also get the plastic utensils, and so you'll get the teeny tiny little spoons and stuff, which again work great. And then lastly, which there wouldn't be lastly, there's tons more that you can get, if you think outside the box. But I looked in the over in the beauty section, and they've got the little 3-piece travel size bottles that will hold 2 ounces each. Well, a lot of the experiments that we have done with them have called for like 1 ounce of this or 2 ounces of that or whatever. So this is perfect to pour the ingredients in. You can shake it up and you've got your mixture right there. So those are great. So you can build like a little science lab for your kids without having to do a monthly subscription. But if you are interested, I will have the link to both below this in the description, with the additional link to get the 50% off the first month. So I said this was a lot longer than I thought it would be. I'm gonna be able to trim it down, I hope. But if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, please. I would love to have you if you're a new subscriber, or if you're just visiting, please subscribe, stick around. Like I said, this is the most different video I've done so far. Most of them have all been makeup and makeup related, or shopping related, but I'm going to throw in quite a few more of these as we go, now that we've got the boxes coming in on a regular basis. So stay tuned, there'll be more of those coming, and I will also add an update once we get the ukulele built, so you can see the finished product of that. So with that said, I will close this out, and I will see y'all soon. So like I said, like, subscribe, notification bell, stick around. I'd love to have you. So I will talk to y'all soon. Bye. Make sure you hit the bell so that you stay up to date on all of my latest uploads and videos. Also, follow me on Instagram at jwaltmua, or check out my website, jennywalton-artistry.com.